In a post-disruption world, where AI is gradually replacing traditional labor, where true value is overshadowed by the glow of going viral, and where everything must launch fast, optimize early, scale instantly, Capricorns, with their natural calm and resilience, are rising like they were custom-coded for this era. But not all Capricorns are the same. You might believe that working hard is enough to guarantee success. But 2025 is no longer an age of toil and grind. This is the year when only those Capricorns who choose the right path, tap into the correct financial frequency, and align with the evolving current of the world will be able to break through and become millionaires. This is no longer a game for those working 16 hours a day. This is the stage for Capricorns who dare to shed their old armor and try again, with leaner systems, sharper strategies, and deeper connections. And if you still think Capricorn is the sign best suited to being a dependable employee, climbing the ladder slowly but surely, then 2025 is going to surprise you. Because for the first time in over 15 years, Pluto, the planet of transformation and power, moves out of Capricorn, leaving behind a profound imprint. You're no longer just the one standing behind other people's success. Now you must step into the light and create your own. The real question is, among the millions born under the sign of Capricorn, who will be the one to cross the threshold into millionaire territory? And who will remain trapped in the old loop of expectations, responsibilities, and silent fears? The answer lies in your date of birth. Because each group of Capricorns carries a unique financial frequency. In the following sections, we'll break down Capricorn into birth date groups, decode each group's specific financial energy for 2025, and most importantly, reveal how you can activate your own cash flow in alignment with your core frequency, so you don't miss the opportunity to rise into real wealth. This journey isn't for those who seek stability in the traditional sense. It's for Capricorns who are ready to redefine stability, not long-term attachment, but the freedom to take charge of your life through the income you create. Now it's time to step into the most important part, where you will see yourself clearly in the financial landscape of 2025. We begin with the first group, Capricorns, born between December 22 and December 31, the pioneers, the burden bearers, and the very ones who could break through first if they choose the right path. If you were born between December 22 and December 31, you belong to the pioneering group of Capricorns, the ones who open a new chapter not just for the Capricorn sign, but for the entire financial movement of 2025. You carry a rare combination of inner strength and innate discipline. You're the type of person who may be quiet, but every time you act, the results are undeniable. But this year, discipline alone is no longer enough. You need a change in strategy. Not because you're wrong, but because the world has shifted roles, and you must now upgrade your own. Pluto has just left your sign, but the imprint of its 15-year stay hasn't vanished. It has been accumulating as a silent force, waiting for the right moment to erupt. And 2025 is that moment. As Jupiter activates your fifth house, the house of creativity, personal expression, and generating wealth from your own talents, you are no longer just someone who supports the system. You are the platform others will build upon. You no longer need someone else to show you the way, because this year, the path is yours to draw. What sets you apart is not your speed, but your depth. You don't move fast, but you move with certainty. You don't speak often, but when you do, it's to take action. And for that reason, your financial energy in 2025 isn't a wave that crashes through. It's a foundation that others return to. The question is, have you dared to step out of your comfort zone, or are you still waiting for a clearer signal to begin? If you've worked in fields requiring high precision, strict processes, or long-term commitment to stable office jobs, then 2025 is the year you must use that very experience to build something of your own. Don't think about quitting or starting over. Think about branching out, building a parallel version, transferring value piece by piece from the old system into a new one of your own. That side branch, if nurtured right, will be the first to bear fruit. You're especially suited for sustainable value creation models, personalized coaching programs, strategic consulting for beginners, streamlined course design based on lived experience, or crafting a niche personal brand. You don't need to go viral, you need a community, deep enough where people don't come to you because you're popular, but because you're real. And it is that truth that will create steady income, a flow that isn't loud, but is strong enough to carry you far. If you're introverted, choose to share through writing, blogs, ebooks, course scripts, or a book based on your personal journey. If you're better at speaking than writing, consider a podcast, one-on-one mentoring, or in-depth video content. If you've worked many years in finance, administration, education, or production, then you're already holding intangible assets that many newcomers desperately need. Don't let that wisdom gather dust on your drive. Refine it, structure it, and release it into the world. The question isn't, how do I get rich? The real question is, what value within me have I been overlooking because I thought it was too ordinary? Because sometimes the thing you consider obvious is exactly what someone else has been searching for. And if you know how to systematize it, present it clearly, and place it where it belongs, that very thing could become your first source of passive income. And you don't need to change who you are, but you do need to change how you use yourself to create value. And this year, the universe isn't asking you to take reckless leaps. It's asking you to start small, start steady, start right. One pivot, one new stream, one financial ecosystem built from the very experience you once undervalued. You're someone who can turn small into sustainable, turn a single skill into income, turn one piece of advice into a service, and when you begin to live aligned with that strength, money won't flood in all at once, but it will come steadily, truthfully, and lastingly. That's the kind of wealth you were born to attain. And if you're still wondering, am I really ready? Then remember, the old system won't save you, but the truth inside you just might. You only need to dare to reflect, dare to start, and dare to believe that by simply doing what you've lived and learned, you won't just succeed. You'll become the inspiration for an entire generation to come. If the first group of Capricorns are the ones who lay the foundation and quietly build sustainable systems, then the second group, those born between January 1 and January 10, are the ones who know how to turn pressure into diamonds. You were born in the transitional space between the essence of classic Capricorn energy and the growing influence of Mercury, the planet of thought, strategy, and communication. You are not only resilient but also sharp, not only capable of enduring but quick to observe. You don't just know how to work, you know how to work for the right people at the right time and with the right goals. The challenge is, because you're good at many things, you sometimes fall into the trap of being too multi-skilled, doing too much, being excellent at everything, and yet failing to optimize your cash flow. You're the type who can manage teams, oversee deadlines, and build financial plans for entire departments, yet forget to build one for yourself. That's why 2024 may have been a very busy year for you, but not exactly a breakthrough. You earned, you managed, but you didn't break the ceiling. 2025 is the year the universe forces you to filter and refine. It's no longer about how many things you can carry, it's about which ones truly elevate your value. As Jupiter activates your 6th house, the house of productivity, discipline, and daily work, you'll be pushed to reevaluate your life systems. What's working, what's wasting your time, and what needs to be automated or eliminated completely. You won't build wealth by working longer hours, but you can build wealth by optimizing every system you currently manage, from your workflow and accounts to your energy and self-care. This is the ideal time to build a self-operating replica of yourself, where all that you know, all that you've done well, and everything you've quietly refined can be packaged into a model that runs independently and generates passive income. You are especially suited for knowledge transfer models, writing guides, creating templates, developing structured training systems, selling digital courses, or building toolkits others can apply. You don't need to teach something 100 times. Just teach it once, teach it well, and let the tool teach for you, year after year. With your energy, your greatest asset is not your labor. It's your ability to organize knowledge into something scalable and replicable. If you're working in management, finance, law, HR, training, or operations, then this is the year to start building a specialized personal brand. Let others witness your systematic thinking, not through words, but through your process. You may be the person who ensures everything runs smoothly behind the scenes, but this year your name needs to be at the top of the page. You are not just managing systems, you are the premium product of the system itself. Don't wait for others to recognize you. Acknowledge yourself by packaging the value you've built. A process you once perfected, an annual plan you crafted, a presentation template that even your boss applauded. Collect it, polish it, and place it where people can access it, apply it, and happily invest, just to save themselves the same hundreds of hours you once spent. You don't need to say you're good, just let your tools speak for you and people will know your level. And when you step into the spotlight that way, lean, credible, and deeply grounded, money won't come from one place. It will flow in through multiple channels, from different products, and from many people willing to pay for the clarity you've worked so hard to master. And if you're still wondering, am I overestimating my own worth? Then let me remind you, you're part of the Capricorn group that Pluto has been quietly training for the past 15 years. Not so you could be hardworking forever, but so you could one day step out of the role of the burden bearer and become the architect of the game. If you feel like the clock of your life is ticking, then yes, now is the time, not to do more, but to turn what you already do best into something that pays you back. And remember, the winners of the new era aren't the ones who run the fastest, but the ones who stop, analyze the system, and build a replica that can run without them. If the previous two groups were the ones who laid the groundwork and structured the system, then Capricorns born between January 11 and January 19 are the ones who build lasting value through calm focus and strategic vision. You were born at the final stretch of the Capricorn sign, where the energy no longer bursts outward like at the beginning, but becomes more settled, wise, and deeply internalized. The influence of Saturn, Capricorn's ruling planet, becomes more pronounced than ever during this period. It makes you more meticulous, slower to decide, and above all, someone who only takes action when truly certain that you're on the right path. Because of this, you're often not the first to start, but you are the one who silently finishes, fully prepared, with a plan built to last. Yet, you're also someone who easily gets stuck in the question, am I good enough? Is it time yet? Often waiting for everything to be perfect before making a move. And 2025 is the pivot point. The universe is no longer waiting for you to be ready. It's pushing you to step out, so what you've quietly nurtured all this time can finally bloom into real financial flow. This year's astrology powerfully activates your 8th house, the house of shared resources, long-term investments, and deep financial transformation. This isn't the house of paycheck-to-paycheck income. It's the realm of assets built through investments, hidden value, or systems that can run themselves. What that means is you don't need to make a lot of money instantly. You need to build an ecosystem that can generate sustainable returns, even from just one refined model. If you have experience in finance, real estate, insurance, therapy, healthcare, personal education, or deep dive consulting, then this year, choose a single domain, go deep into it and refine it into a signature product, and begin crafting a value chain around it. You don't need many clients. You just need the right clients. People willing to invest long-term with someone they trust. And if you've ever thought, I'm not good at selling, here's the good news. You don't need to sell, you need to build trust. You need a clear enough process for others to understand what you do, what you believe in, and where you can take them. A deep personal brand, even a small one, but one that resonates with your true frequency. will allow you to bypass competition, skip ads, and avoid underpricing because people will invest when they feel your authenticity. You're well suited for build once, run forever models, online courses, automated client care systems, scheduled value content, or joint investments with trustworthy partners to share resources. With your energy, money doesn't need to come fast. As long as it comes consistently and moves in the right direction, it will multiply over time. You don't need to do more. You just need to design the right system and trust that each step you take is shaping a financial structure as solid as stone. If you're working a job, pick the skill you're best at: budgeting, HR management, strategic advising, or data analysis. Then build a process or guide to reteach that skill to others. Turn your personal strengths into something digital, something teachable, something that lives beyond you. And if you're already running a business, this is the time to standardize, streamline, and eliminate what no longer works, so you can focus all your energy on the one thing that can generate long-term income. You don't need to be the best. You just need to be on the right path and stay steady. That's the gift the universe offers this Capricorn group in 2025, when you dare to build value that endures. Money will come like an underground stream, quiet but continuous. You don't need to explode, you need to root. And from those roots, you won't just sustain yourself, you'll become a financial anchor for your family, your lineage, or even a small community around you. Trust that what you've quietly built can now become a true source of income. And if you're still hesitating, just remember this: in a world racing forward, it's the one who stays steady that holds on to wealth the longest. And you are exactly the kind of person who was born to hold that ground. After all the shifts, from laying the foundation, transforming your work life, to building long-term wealth, the most important lesson Capricorn needs to remember in 2025 isn't about how much money you've made. It's about how you've changed your role in the financial game. Because this is not an ordinary year. This is the year Pluto officially exits Capricorn, closing out a cycle of over 15 years in which you lived like a silent warrior. Throughout that time, you learned how to endure, how to carry the load, how to survive, often without allowing yourself to dream big or live lightly. You became someone others relied on, but rarely gave yourself permission to rest or be vulnerable. That's why 2025 isn't here to make you push harder. It's here to bring a turning point. Pluto, the planet of power, transformation, and rebirth, has shaped you through fear, through trials, through limitations that once felt insurmountable. And yet, because of that, you now carry a kind of strength that no one else can replicate. The ability to withstand pressure without breaking, to turn pain into fuel, and to walk the long road without losing your inner compass. And now, as Pluto withdraws, you no longer need to live as the silent carrier. You are being given a rare opportunity to take that strength forged in darkness and finally step into the light as someone who creates value independently, wisely, and with real impact. If you want to fully understand the meaning of Pluto leaving Capricorn and why this marks a monumental shift in your life, watch the video linked in the description. It opens a doorway to the kind of depth you may have avoided facing for 15 years, but now the time has come. As for your financial journey in 2025, you've already seen how distinct the Capricorn subgroups are. Those born from December 22 to 31 need to channel their discipline into building personal products. Those born from January 1 to 10 must optimize systems to replicate their value. And those born from January 11 to 19 are meant to build long-lasting foundations for wealth to grow and compound over time. The most important truth to remember is this: wealth no longer comes from how many hours you work, but from how fully you live in alignment with your true strengths. You don't need to be like anyone else. You don't need to race against the times. Because when you live in sync with your own frequency, a frequency refined through every trial Pluto brought over the past 15 years, success, income, and recognition, won't arrive because you begged for them. They'll arrive because you've become someone worthy of receiving them. If you've made it this far, share your birth date below and one thing you've always been good at but never believed could earn you money. That very thing might be the doorway that's been waiting for you all along. And if you're wondering which signs should Capricorn team up with in 2025 to form a powerful financial alliance, don't miss the next video. We'll explore the zodiac combinations that not only understand Capricorn, but can co-create prosperous, lasting ecosystems with you. So don't miss what's coming next, because Capricorn was never meant to just survive, but to lead.